When it comes to designing bosses for a Mario game or any game for that matter, it is imperative that they should match the theming of the world they are supposedly guarding. This is crucial as it adds more narrative depth to the story. In the case of the new Super Mario Bros. DS games, however, story is pretty much non-existent, but the design of bosses should still be diversified and unique. This is why I consider this game to have the best boss designs out of essentially all of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, and even Wonder, which is the latest Mario platformer to release. I mean, yeah, you do have to fight Bowser Jr. as a mid-boss in basically every world in the game, and regular Bowser a few times, but I will excuse the game for that because it did give us really cool bosses that haven't been brought back in future Mario games for some reason. The ones I'm talking about are Mummy Pokey, Sheep Skipper, Boss Goomba, Monty Tank, and Lack of Thunder respectively. These 5 bosses are exclusive to New Super Mario Bros. DS, and have not made another appearance in other Mario games as of late, which really sucks because they have really neat designs that would add a variety to the pool of boss characters used in other Mario platformers. Let me go into detail why I adore these bosses so much. Starting with the Mummy Pokey in World 2, let me just say that I absolutely love his design and how they decided to mummify him to fit into the theme of the desert and added ominous red spikes and eyes. As for the fight itself, he will pop in and out of random spots from the ground, and you have to predict where he will appear to avoid getting damaged. He will fire projectiles as well. This is one of those bosses where the level of difficulty varies, because you can either find it normally as Big Mario to enter World 3, or as Mini Mario to enter World 4. I always like this method of unlocking new levels because it felt accomplishing to actually earn a way there, rather than being handed a freebie. Of course, it is significantly more difficult as Mini Mario, considering you can only take one hit, and have to damage him more. The next boss takes place in World 3, who goes by the name of Sheep Skipper, who only appears in one game. This huge purple fish appears to be a bit meaner and temperamental than your average Sheep, and is in the mood for plumber flavored meat. What I like about this fight is that it will summon normal Sheeps to mess with your jumping, and will swoop in as soon as you are the most vulnerable. The way he looms below like a true predator in the wild, pouncing at the opportunity the moment he spots an opening. Mario must stomp on it 3 times to defeat it. It's a rather simple fight, but I admire how they added normal enemies to the scene for an extra added layer of difficulty. It's the small details like these that can make all the difference in the world during a Mario Bros. Boss fight. The next boss takes place in World 4, and he is called Boss Goomba. Yes, I know this is literally a regular Goomba, but mega-sized, and you may ask why this is considered a good design. Hear me out first. This is one of my favorite fights in the game because of the variety of methods you can use to defeat him. The game intends for the player to push a switch to have rising platforms appear, so that Mario can ground pound the boss. You can do that, or simply wall jump your way up to his head, and ground pound. Or use a Mega Mushroom and stomp in one hit. This is always so satisfying to watch him admit defeat so quickly. You can choose to find a mini form to challenge yourself as well. Although the boss is literally just a giant Goomba, it is interesting to see him finally take charge and challenge Mario head on, after experiencing years of abuse and humiliation. The next boss is in World 6, who goes by the name of Monty Tank. This, in my opinion, is one of the coolest and most creative Mario platform bosses ever. I believe he is a reference to the Monty Mo you fight in Mario Sunshine, who fires bullet bills and throws bombs. He does the same here, but the level of the tank increases by 1 tier every time Monty is damaged. So Mario is forced to hop on the turrets that rapidly fire bullet bills constantly to throw the bomb at Monty. Every time he is hit, his tank will spin out of control, firing in all directions, indicating that it's malfunctioning, which is a cool detail. As per usual, you could bring a Mega Mushroom to this fight and one-shot Monty, but I think it's a lot more fun to defeat him normally, because how you can jump on bullet bills to see how long you can stay in the air for. I adore this one for being so different compared to the other boss fights in other New Super Mario Bros. Games. The final boss is in World 7, known as Lack of Thunder. This slick sunglass wearing Lakitu seems to be the head honcho within the Lakitu community, as he is able to strike devastating lightning bolts onto his enemies, along with throwing spinies. This adds some challenge to the fight as Mario has to constantly dodge the obstacles, while waiting for an opening to jump on his head 3 times. In terms of design, he reminds me of Lackluster from Paper Mario 64, as they both wear shades. I don't really understand why Nintendo refuses to use these guys in future games, because these guys have some really cool designs. Well, that does it for all the unique bosses in New Super Mario Bros. DS. Afterwards, the franchise decided to reuse the Koopalings as the main bosses for each world, and I've been doing this for a while. Even Super Mario Bros. Wonder kept recycling the same boss fights as well. Nintendo really needs to change up the gameplay style and bring these guys back again. They don't even need to be enemies, just use them somewhere so they are relevant again. But that will probably never happen. Oh well, But until then, thank you for watching. Do you agree with my points mentioned? And please like and subscribe for more videos like these if you want to.